So this page is all about conscious conception, and I really feel like I owe it to my followers to share this story that I'm not particularly excited to share, but I think it's really important that there is awareness and understanding, because 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago, in September 2003, I woke up one morning and I had a dream, and in the dream there was a voice, and this voice said, "This is your new man." Right at the moment, a shield was pulled up, and behind that shield appeared 2 feet, legs, a torso, a face. And it was of this beautiful black man that I had seen before in the community. And I was like, huh, interesting. And I didn't feel much about it. But half an hour later, I was walking across the street, going to the coffee shop. And sure enough, this guy was driving by in a car, and we were locking eyes, looking at each other. And it was just super bizarre because I just came out of the dream. Later that day, that night, there was a party in the house where I lived. My landlord had a party, and at 6 o'clock I walked in at the party, and there was only one person there, and it was him. And he was sitting there at a bar stool, and we started talking. And we immediately had this really strong attraction for each other, and specifically because he was really into lucid dreaming of all things, and also into extraterrestrials. Now, I wasn't at all into extraterrestrials, but I had a period from when I was 18 till 24 that I went to all these channelings from all these beings from outer space that were speaking about their life forms, which was incredible, amazing. And I learned so much from that. But when I was 24, I was like, this needs to stop. I just want to be human and be focused on basically doing acupuncture and helping women to become pregnant. But we had so much to share, and it was like an interesting attraction. That night we made love under the orange tree, and this is what I would not recommend to anyone. Never be intimate on a first date. We did use protection, but I knew I was going to be pregnant, and the protection failed, and I was pregnant. And from the second I was pregnant, something really bizarre happened. I felt this, I cannot describe it differently than like a metal device attached to my head, like going into my brain. Super bizarre. I mean, it felt so real, and I, more than the pregnancy, I was bothered by that thing that was there 24 hours a day, and it was I just wanted to get rid of it. I went back to Holland. To have an abortion, and I did have an abortion. It was twins. The second I had an abortion, that weird metal thing disappeared, and it felt like such a relief. I had no bad feelings. I had no feelings whatsoever towards these babies. I had not connected to them as I would now do, and I had no connection to this person either. It felt so intrusive. It felt so manipulated. I felt so raped in a way. I felt raped by the universe. It was so real and bizarre, and I mean, this sounds so science fiction, and I might lose a lot of followers, but I really want to warn women that are going through this. This is real, and you can make a conscious choice. You can make a conscious choice for conception, but also to choose an abortion. 2 years later, I was sitting at the beach, living on a big island, when all of a sudden 2 beings came floating towards me. I saw 2 beings who looked very friendly, and they said, "You never acknowledged us. We want you to know our names. We want you to give our names." And they said their names, and their names, I mean, I still cannot reproduce them. They're like the most alien names you can imagine. But that was that. Then it felt really clear and clean, and I felt at ease, and I felt peace. It's so important to know there's so many souls that want to have an experience, that are so desperate to get in. They do anything to get in, and they do even these manipulative things. I mean, these beings from outer space, I believe it's not that easy anymore to come in that way, but it is possible. I mean, it was definitely real for me. And I know that there's so many beings trying to get in, trying to get a spot. And this sounds really bizarre, but this is real. So if it remotely feels not good, know that you have a choice. So I really say there's birth by conscious choice, and there's birth by attraction. And 80% of all births are birth by attraction, and it can be all kind of attractions. It can be just that souls are born into the same family over and over again, that certain addictions are repeated, certain patterns are repeated. and souls seek the same kind of energy. There's also birth by conscious choice, which is where you make a really conscious choice to attract a soul, which also has to do with that there is a preparation. So for a lot of souls, or 20% of souls, they go through a preparation and they make a very conscious life plan, and they connect very consciously to parents.